and my shoulder is hurting. And I mean hurting. Like super sharp pains. I can barely move it. Any sort of pressure or weight put on it, I was gonna give out. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're listening to the Right Brain Podcast with me, Dino Gabriel. Hello, welcome to the Right Brain Podcast, the podcast where we try to look at life in a new and creative perspective. I'm your host, Dino Gabriel, and welcome to everyone who's listening. Welcome to episode 1. Oh my gosh, I'm actually doing this. If y'all can't tell, I'm really nervous. I don't know if my audio is doing well, but whatever. Let's get right into the episode. So, for episode 1, I just wanted to talk about patience. Because lately, I've been feeling super impatient. See, the reason why I've been feeling super impatient is because I hurt my left shoulder. I hurt it at the start of the year. Diba? New year, new me. I was gonna get my fitness right. I was gonna get my nutrition right. Literally, the 5th day of 2023, I injured my shoulder and I had to put my arm in a sling for 2 weeks. See, the reason why I injured my shoulder is because I was doing an exercise with weights that were probably way too heavy for that exercise. I was doing lateral raises and the dumbbells I was using was pretty heavy. Not to be like, oh, I could lift heavy dumbbells. No, I was stupid. I was immature. I let my pride and ego take control of me. And boom, I injured my shoulder. I had to keep my arm in a sling for 2 weeks. And it felt like I tore my rotator cuff. But I didn't because the following day, or 2 days after I injured my shoulder, I had my shoulder checked by the doctor. And he did some tests and he just told me that I had to keep it on a sling and take the meds that he was prescribing me. 1 week goes by and my shoulder is hurting. And I mean hurting. Like super sharp pains. I can barely move it. Any sort of pressure or weight put on it, I was gonna give out. And it was hell for me because you don't realize how much you take advantage of your body when you're moving fine and dandy. But once you're injured and once that body part is eliminated from your daily life, you don't understand how useful or how much use it had in your day-to-day living. So it annoyed me that my shoulder was just in a sling. But 1 week goes by, crazy pain that I will never forget. Following week comes by and I noticed that my shoulder wasn't hurting as bad anymore. I was taking the meds. I was putting a warm compress over it, just like what the doctor said. And I was slowly able to move it. Eventually, at the half of the second week, my shoulder started to feel fine again and I could live my day-to-day life without a sling. So I was really pushing myself to the point where at the end of the second week, I had my shoulder reevaluated and the doctor that I went to did some tests on me, tests on my shoulder, and I passed all of them and he gave me the go-ahead to start rehabilitation. So I was like, fuck yeah, nice. I can get back on track. Coming up the third week, the week that just passed actually, I started rehabbing my shoulder. And boy, was I scared to put any weight on it. Like, at most, the weight I was carrying was 2 kilograms. 2 kilograms on my shoulders. And I was scared because if that boy pops, I'm done. That's how many weeks or how many months down the drain. See, the point I'm trying to make with all of this is patience. The reason why patience is brought up here is because, sure, I hurt my shoulder. And yes, I was able to rehabilitate it in the span of the 3rd week. But you know how many times did I want to push throughout the 1st week, the 2nd week, and even the 3rd week, where I was like, you know what? Let me start lifting the weights that I normally do. Let me start lifting the weights that I was doing prior to this injury. And there were so many times where if my girlfriend or my brother didn't keep me in check, I would have been injuring myself over and over again and bring my progress back to square one. See, I was always told that patience is trusting that something will happen no matter how long it will take. That's why, they say that patience is a virtue. See, the reason why I started becoming impatient is because coming into my 4th week, I saw old videos and photos of myself on my phone, because you know how iPhones, they like to do that whole memory thing, or like any camera roll app, actually, Google Photos, whatever. They like to do that memories thing. And I was like, what's this? So I played it, and oh my gosh, I was lifting weights super heavy, and I was doing it easy. It just pissed me off even more, knowing that that is the strength that I used to have, and that is the strength that I want to be doing again. So if you ask me, patience, is it really a virtue? My answer would be yes. Yes, it is a virtue. The reason why I believe that patience is a virtue is because patience isn't just you sitting around and doing nothing, waiting for the opportunity to come to your lap. Patience is building your confidence, your trust, and being productive, taking baby steps to reaching your goal. Like, for example, when it comes to weightlifting with my shoulders, yes, my end goal is to be lifting at the strength that I used to be lifting at. But at the moment, I have to rehabilitate my shoulder and start from square one and slowly increase my strength over time. But I am taking the baby steps of lifting 1 kilogram dumbbells, 2 kilogram dumbbells, 3 kilogram dumbbells, until I could eventually lift to the dumbbells that I was lifting back then. That's what patience is. It's not you just sitting around waiting for the right moment. It's you just believing in yourself and taking the time to take baby steps towards your goal. I know in certain instances that we can't control. We're just left there being told to be patient, air quotes, patient. But if you take the time to actually work on yourself and will take those baby steps, being patient will make that end goal that you're trying to achieve so much easier. So yes, patience to me is a virtue, and patience is something that we start to develop and learn over time. Don't get me wrong, I'm only 21. I still have a long way to go. Like a super long way to go. At certain times, I catch myself being impatient. I get hot-headed. I get, pikon. But, that's the great thing about life. Being able to learn, know your mistakes, and move forward. So, I'll leave you all with this. Patience is giving trust that something will happen no matter how long it will take. But during that time, be productive, because you would rather pick an apple when it's ripe instead of it being rotten or immature. And that is our episode for today. Thank you for listening to the Right Brain Podcast. My brain farted right there. Bye-bye.